What's going on, knuckleheads? This is my UFC Fight Night Volkov versus Aspinall post-fight reaction. What a absolutely legendary night for the UFC, you guys out there in the UK. I mean, everything that you want to go right as a promoter if you're promoting in another country went right for them. I mean, Paddy the Baddy came through. Molly McCann came through real big. So did Tom Aspinall. I mean, from the top to the bottom, this card was absolutely, as the kids say, lit, right? This was absolutely ridiculous. And a couple things that really stick out in my mind, and again, all the performances were amazing to the point where Dana White actually gave everybody a bonus. Everybody got the $50K bonus. But a couple that really stuck out in my mind, man, was that fight between Topuria and Herbert, where I thought Topuria was getting beat up, and the guy came back and lands an absolutely ridiculous combination. I think he went head, body, head, hit Herbert with a right hook, and just put him to sleep, you guys, in a knockout of the year candidate. Absolutely brutal. And we had another knockout of the year candidate in Molly McCann when she fought, I think her name was Luna Carolina, or Carolina. And McCann literally, I mean, they went to war for 2 rounds, and in the third round, they're both definitely tired. And McCann, you literally see her charge up her spinning back elbow before delivering it. And you guys got to see this. I mean, just as bad as Topuria's opponent, Herbert, went out on impact and his body just went limp and his eyes rolled to the back of his head, same thing happened with Molly McCann landing that elbow on Carolina. And let me tell you, it was shocking. It was disturbing. I mean, Paddy the Baddy talked about it in his post-fight interview. It was disturbing to watch McCann do this to Carolina, right? Because you don't typically see the women in MMA knock each other out in such brutal fashion. And, there was something extremely disturbing about this because as soon as the elbow landed, not only did Carolina completely go out and her body go limp and kind of slam to the floor lifelessly, but her eyes were still open and they were rolled back in her head. And, again, Paddy the Baddy said, he was concerned, and I was legitimately concerned. I mean, this was as bad, maybe a hint worse, right? Because we don't typically see the women put each other out like this. Maybe worse. It was maybe worse than the knockout that Topuria had. So, hope Carolina's okay, man. But my goodness, Molly McCann, I mean, if this didn't turn you into a fan of women's MMA, nothing's going to be. That was the most brutal, vicious knockout that I can remember in any women's combat sport ever. And it's right up there with any men's brutal knockout. I mean, I got to say that. Besides that, we had, and I'd love your thoughts on that. Besides that, we had, Paddy come through. He got caught a little bit by Kazula in that first round. Took it to the ground. And, in the first round, got the finish, showed a lot of wherewithal, a lot of, high-level grappling skills, BJJ skills, and got the choke and ended the fight in the first round. Of course, the place went crazy. And nobody has more passionate fans than the fans out there in the UK, man. I mean, you could just feel it through the television, how hyped these guys were. And, of course, Tom Aspinall getting a quick win. Not just a win, but an emphatic, quick win over a very tough guy in Volkov. A guy who, as Dana White indicated, he's been there, he's done that, he's seen it all. He's big, strong, long, rangy. And for Aspinall to do that, he just put himself in the title mix, man. He looked really good. And he's one of these new breed of heavyweights, very similar to Cyril Gane, who are big and can move. And anybody that fights this guy is going to have a lot of problems. I'm very interested in seeing what happens to Aspinall. But all around an incredible night of fights, you guys. And I got to say, UFC does it again. Speaking of an incredible night of fights, Fighters Rep 13 is coming up on April 30th, you guys. That's the end of next month. Tickets are already going fast. Definitely get yours at FightersRep.com or in the link below. If you can't make it, you can catch the live stream by joining the YouTube channel or clicking live stream access at FightersRep.com, which is just going to allow you to join the YouTube channel through there. Let me know your thoughts on this UFC event. Let me know if you're going to make it to the Fighters Rep event, Fighters Rep 13 coming up. We're floating at 19 fights right now. It's absolutely insane. You're not going to want to miss this card. We're going to be putting out more content related to it. But yeah, come on out. Be sure to subscribe and join the channel if you want to help us support continuing to build the sport, continue to build up these fighters. So subscribe and join. And if you're on Facebook, follow the page. Also follow us on social media below. Man, I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this one. That was an epic night of fights.